I think especially because I'm a woman,
Mm.
lots of people think I'm making it just for clicks or just for money,
Mm.
or they say I'm faking everything. And sometimes it makes me sad because they don't know my background
Mm,
story, they
exactly.
don't know my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then who's your favorite villain?
I would say Cell is
Okay,
my
yeah,
favorite
yeah, yeah.
villain from DBC because Cell is. I like the arrogance. I like the way he
Mm.
talk. I like the intelligent way he makes his moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's very cool and nice to watch.
No, yes, you're right. Cell's one of those characters whereby at the beginning I didn't like him. I really despised him, but I grew to like him, especially at the end. Again, like you mentioned, he has that arrogance about him.
Mm-hmm.
So definitely. What's your thoughts on Goku giving Gohan the senzu bean to fight Cell? Because everyone says he's a bad dad for doing that, and so I wonder, what are your thoughts on that?
I think for this move, he is a
Hmm.
bad dad, to be honest. For this move.
Yeah, yeah.
But after Piccolo told him the real interest of Gohan, and
Mm-hmm.
Goku's face was like, I made the biggest mistake ever. And he realized, oh, what did I do? Yeah, my son is needs help. And I just threw up, yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think in terms of the situation they were in, he had a lot of faith in his son. I personally think it was okay because as a dad, you want to challenge your son, but I appreciate that the situation you're in, if you lose, the earth is going to be destroyed, right? But I guess he had so much faith in his son that, he was confident that he could win. But we know that, if it didn't happen that way, well, I mean, yeah, Goku died in the end because of that. But it was great. It was great to see. But fair enough. My favorite villain is Frieza. I think similar to Cell, very arrogant, but I think it's just more so the way he carries himself. He's like a Bond villain. Very elegant, very classy, and he's a proper villain. He doesn't pull no punches. He kills them whenever he feels like it, which is what I like. I like villains who are no BS. Like they just go for the kill. So that's for me. And then, do you have like a favorite arc in Dragon Ball, or it could be Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, or Super, whichever one?
Yeah, I would say the Cyborg, also Android Saga, and also Cell Saga.
Yeah,
These
yeah,
two are my favorites, yeah.
yeah. I think that is a great arc. What did you think of Android 17 and 18? Did you like them as villains as well?
Yes, of course. Especially in DB Super, I like their character development after they get reborn through the Dragon Balls.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
they were more like human, and how Android 17 fights, and I really like it to see. It's very cool.
So, going back to the beginning, like what was your first feeling when you watched? Like, how did you get into Dragon Ball? Was it was just came on a TV and you saw it, or did someone tell you to watch it? How did you first find it?
I remember I was about I think 5 or 6 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and it just came on TV. And I saw it and I loved it. The moment I saw it, it was really cool. And I always imagined as a kid to want in this Dragon Ball world and to fight and to train with them. And that was also my biggest strange I get from them. Yeah, to know how strong you can be and everything you want you can reach with your mind, with your own power. And that is something, a big life lesson I get from them. And that's why I never give up in life, because I saw it and I really appreciate it.
Those are some very wise words. I think you're right. Dragon Ball Z has motivated me personally in terms of training. I started wearing weighted vests. I started using ankle weights when I saw Goku using it. So, you just see them training and you want to be better yourself, both physically and mentally. So I think you're absolutely right in terms of that motivation. Have you ever tried to do the Spirit Bomb or the Kamehameha in your room or anything?
Yes, I tried a lot of times.
Oh gosh, we've all done it. We've all done it. We've all tried to turn Super Saiyan as well, but it's part of the fun. So for sure. And then so have you watched Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, and Super? You've watched all three. Which
Yes,
one do you
and
prefer?
GT also.
Oh, GT. Oh, okay. Let's. You know what? Now you mentioned it, I didn't even. So
You didn't even
I have a you know what, GT, I know what they were trying to do, but it didn't land well. There was the baby saga, which was lovely. I think that was the best saga, to be fair. And I also did like the transformation into Goku, Super Saiyan 4. That was very nice. And I did like Gogeta, where he does the Super Big Bang Kamehameha. That was amazing as well. But as a concept, I prefer Super anyway to GT. But in terms of order, what would you say is your favorite series? I'll go mine. Mine is Dragon Ball. I think is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. So Dragon Ball, and then I'll say Dragon Ball Z, then I'll say Super, then I'll say GT. How about yourself?
I would say DBC on first, then DB, then DB Super, and then DB GT.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's good as well. What did you think of Super? Because the reason why I ask is we have someone in our in our Discord who he likes Dragon Ball Z, but he always is moaning about how Dragon Ball Super should be better, or it could have been better. But I just wanted to get your opinion in terms of I think Super does well. I know there's maybe some plot or character flaws or plot armor, but still I think overall it does okay. But what's your thoughts on Super?
I think Super is much more better than GT about the story and the characters and the villains. And I think Super is not that bad. I just think that some characters, for example, Future Trunks or also Vegeta, they are so weak sometimes. And I know Goku is stupid sometimes, but in Super, he made him much stupid, you know?
Yeah.
It's not, I think, the real character from all the people there. I don't know how to explain it, if you understand, yeah.
No, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand. I think the characters in GT, I don't know, but for me personally, they feel a bit more adult. They feel a bit more well, Goku, no, maybe not Goku, but you see Vegeta with Bulma and he's got a kid. Obviously, Goten and Trunks grow up and so on and so forth, so you see them older. So they do feel a bit more adult, but I think Super, I like the natural progression from Dragon Ball Z into Super. I think GT just went complete left field. Goku comes a kid and they're just going, I think half the show is just them going around the planets trying to find Dragon Ball. There wasn't necessarily a story there. Whereas, you know, the Tournament of Power, you had all of that, which is good. What did you think of Goku Black? Did you like that kind of arc in terms of him, seeing Goku like a villain?
Yes, very much. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always wondered how Goku would be if he's a villain.
Yeah.
And that's a good example for him. Yeah, I really like it.
No, I thought that was good as well. And then, what about Jiren? Did you think he was a good? I know he's not a villain, but what did you think of him as a character?
His background story is really interesting. Until I saw his background story, I was like, oh, I don't like him. He's not that cool. Why did they serious? And after that, I was thinking, there's a reason why he always wants to be the strongest and always want to win every fight. But at the end, when he lost, I think he learned something that he also need to trust his friends and his teammates. And he learned from Goku a lot, I think so.
No, that's a good point actually. Jiren, I tend to lean to characters more, and I think everyone does, where they have a good backstory and you can understand, you know, why they are who they are, kind of thing, if that makes sense. So yeah, I think to your point, before his backstory, we didn't know nothing about him. We just thought he's just strong for no reason. How is this guy so strong? You know, very arrogant, like didn't really care about his teammates and so on and so forth. But speaking of teammates, I have a theoretical question for you, right? I know these will be sprinkled out throughout the podcast. So, which one, outside of Goku, the Saiyans, who is your favorite Z fighter?
I would say it's Krillin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's good. Good
Yeah.
choice. I like Krillin a
And
lot.
Piccolo also.
Okay, Piccolo and
Yeah.
Krillin. Yeah. Fair
It's
enough.
definitely not Yamcha. Oh god, I don't want to be mad, but
No. Say it. Speak your truth. Absolutely fine. Yeah. Yamcha
Yeah.
sometimes he annoys us. He does annoy us. And unfortunately for him, he has a meme now where he's in a crater. Everyone just laughs at him. But now Krillin for sure. Krillin's definitely my favorite outside of the Saiyans, just because he shows a lot of spirit. Although he does get injured a lot very quickly, but he shows a lot of spirit, which I liked. I really liked him in Namek as well, where he faces Frieza and so on and so forth.
Yeah,
that was a good fight. So then, if you had to go on a date with any Z fighter, even you can include the Saiyans, but remember Goku and Vegeta are married. So, who would you go out with?
I would choose Future Trunks.
Yeah, fair enough.
And he's single, I think so.
Yeah.
It would be matched, yeah.
Fair enough. And then okay, so in terms of Dragon Ball as a series, you mentioned that you got into it, and I can see the merch behind you as well, which is so cool, like amazing. I love it. What would you say is your best merch or your favorite merch you have at the moment of Dragon Ball?
I think the movies you can see from BBC, that's my favorite, because I was buying them when I was around 10 years old. And I remembered I always asked my mom and my dad for money. And I said, can I please have a movie? And they always said, oh, you don't need it. It's for kids. You're growing up. You don't need it. And it's anime for kids. And I was like, no, mom and dad, please. I need them. And they bought it for me.
Oh, cool.
Like you can see. And that's my proud. Yeah, I love them. And I always like to show them in my videos or in my content to combine something. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how many do you have?
Yeah. I think all episodes of BBC.
Wow, that is crazy. That's cool. That's really cool.
I'm very proud of it.
Yeah, you should be. That is really cool. Like, it could be worth a lot someday as well, actually. You've got the whole collection there. That's really cool. And then if you could cosplay anyone at an anime convention, who would you cosplay in Dragon Ball?
My followers always said I should cosplay Chi-Chi, but I would prefer Videl, to be honest, because I like her character a little bit more. Chi-Chi is like a strict mom, and I don't see this role now in me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe because I don't have kids, but I like Videl more. Yeah.
Yeah. Videl for sure. I mean, she did cut her hair, but before that, you could definitely do the one before the tournament, right? Actually, and on that, I have another theoretical question. Who would you rather go on a girls' trip with? Chi-Chi or Bulma or Videl or Marin or Launch? You can only pick one.
Bulma.
Ah, okay. Why Bulma?
I think we have the same mind. Because she is that like of scientist, and she's very intelligent and likes biological stuff, chemistry, and I like this also very much because it's my favorite in school. It was my favorite in school, and I think we have strong characters. And I think we're very similar, and that's why I would choose her, and I think it would be a good friend match.
No, there's no wrong answer or right answer. Fine. Yeah, Bulma's cool. I think she would be an amazing person to, I think from just the way I know she's a mom to Trunks, but I feel like she's the mom of the group in a sense. Because Chi-Chi unfortunately is always at home saying, Goku, when are you gonna come home? But Bulma's always there in the action, you know, she's giving some good advice. So yeah, she's definitely a cool person to be around. You mentioned in the beginning regarding like being a female doing Dragon Ball Z content. What are some misconceptions that people have around you regarding doing Dragon Ball? Because I'm sure some people have some stereotypes or misconceptions about you doing the content.
I think especially because I'm a woman. Lots of people think I'm making it just for clicks or just for money, or they say I'm faking everything. And sometimes it makes me sad because they don't know my background story.
Exactly.
They don't know my childhood. And I was always thinking, I don't need to explain myself.
No.
But I will try it now, and I can always say that it makes really fun for me, and I'm really into Dragon Ball, and it's very heartbreaking to hear sentences like "you're always faking it," "you're just making it for money," and it's not that nice, to be honest.
The internet is just a wild west of just sometimes negativity, so please don't be disheartened about it. I'm sure you have many supporters who love the content. When I saw your content, I instantly knew you were a Dragon Ball Z fan, just the way you do your content, so on and so forth. That's why I wanted you to come on the podcast as well. And I've said this many times on the podcast, we only invite guests that we really like their content and we know are genuine, and so on and so forth. So look, the more the bigger you come, the more you become, and the more successful, you're always going to get people who are going to troll. So please, don't mind the trolls. They will, forget them. We've had our trolls and we've had some racism and so on and so forth, but I don't let that bother me. It can obviously get to you, but my advice to anyone listening is you're always going to have negativity. Just try and drown it out as much as possible, and focus on the people who are supporting you, who love you, and who continue to push you to do greater and better things. So for sure. Wait, this is a throwback. Quickly click on the next video before it destroys it. It's Raccoon Boom! It's still there though. Yes, but in his mind, it's gone.